on the search bar on LDS.org.
Matt, this is right down your alley.
Thanks. I do think that those are terrific questions because we all know that the challenge in the information age is not to find answers, we're surrounded by answers, but it's to discern between good answers and bad answers, good information and bad information. And that's really one of the central tasks of a historian. So let me tell you a little bit about what I do in my work. There are so many historical discussions online about our history. And most of these discussions produce a lot more heat than light. So if your source of information includes a lot of emojis and exclamation points, maybe let's start somewhere else. Be careful about sources of information that just seek to tear people down. Look instead for sources of information that are based on the records left by the people themselves and that seek to be fair to them. It is really easy to play gotcha with the past, to pull a quotation or an incident out of its context and make it look alarming. As a historian, I tried to follow the advice of a British novelist, and I love this. He said, "The past is a foreign country. They do things differently there." And to me, that means that when we visit the past, we don't want to be an ugly tourist. We want to try to understand the people within their own context and their own culture. We want to be patient with what we perceive as their faults. We want to be humble about the limits of our own knowledge. And we want to have a spirit of charity about the past. Those of us like Kate and myself who write history for the church, we feel a great responsibility to write history that is honest, that is accurate, that helps us understand the past. So there's a lot of great information out there about Latter-day Saint history. Look for the credible sources. And I'm going to take just a minute to tell you about a few other things that the church has done that you might be interested in. So along with the Saints volume that was published this week, was published online about 100 new online essays called Church History Topics. They tell you more about the events and themes and people and places in Saints. And they even point you to further reading, things not published by the church that can help you increase your understanding. Another area of interest that the church has published a lot on recently is women's history. So the church has published a documentary history of the Relief Society and a book called At the Pulpit, which is a book of women's sermons throughout church history. Latter-day Saint women's history is not just for women. It's for all Latter-day Saints. We are stronger as a people, stronger as a culture, when we hear the voices and learn from the experiences of women in the past. Another thing that we've tried to do more of that Elder Cook mentioned is tell the stories of the global church. I love the stories about how the gospel has gone to the ends of the earth. And you can find a lot of these stories on history.lds.org. You can watch videos and read stories about the saints in Ghana and in South Africa and in Brazil and in the Netherlands and Germany and so on and so forth. And a great deal of this information might be sitting in your pocket. Hopefully they're in your pockets. Go to the church history section of the Gospel Library app, maybe sometime this week. Maybe download Saints and look at the other resources. I think that you will enjoy them, be inspired, and learn more about the history of this church.